Hey y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve, and this is part 2 of Darrell contesting how fast he may have been going driving down this here parade. Okay. He is contesting and he said, I was not, you can't prove how fast I was going. And it does matter, and I don't know why. So let's see what's going on here in part 2. I don't know anything about this, but I could assess that it must be like if it's based from video, they can assess for how long it took from you to get to this spot to that spot in the video. And they could come up with how fast you were going with what, with all the elements or whatnot. Okay. But clearly they use the video to find that out. Okay. This is what it seemed like to me.
Based on the technique that I described earlier in my testimony of
That's right. Don't you repeat yourself for this, man.
Using the 3D scanning software, overlaying the video of the suspect vehicle traveling westbound on Main Street, plotting the points, and then measuring the distance over the time.
Thank you. Exactly. See, I don't know shit about this, but I can figure that out.
Any other method? Well, let me back up. Is there any other technology that you could have utilized that same method without a delay?
Objection. Asked.
Ground.
Sustained.
No, because then it wouldn't be completely accurate, which is what goes back to what he said, the reason why they were doing that one, because the other way has a room for error. And they ain't taking no chances with you and your unstable ass, okay? They wanted to cross their T's and dot the shit out of their I's, okay? This is what they want to do. So they wanted to find the most accurate way, be nice and thorough. And that's how they got and accomplished this 1,000 years that you got. 1,000 years. 1,000 years. Look at Darrell's hairline. You got time to grow your hair back.
You stated that you've done speed analysis
oh my God.
numerous times. Would that be fair to say?
In what regards? In what example?
To any cases before this one?
In training examples, not in
don't say
investigation done by our agency.
So it'd be fair to say you yourself haven't done very many speed analysis.
Tell them nope. Say nope. That's not fair to say.
I couldn't give you a firm number of how many we did in training over that time. But no,
Not we, you. I'm asking specific to you yourself.
Outside of this current investigation, I have not currently performed any for any other agency yet, no.
So would it be fair to say that maybe you could have been off on a few of your analysis, being that it was your first time doing it in a live investigation, as you coined it?
No, I would not say that.
Grounds.
Hold on. What's the objection?
Calls for speculation and argumentative.
Grounds. Better grounds than that.
Mr. Brooks, what was your question again?
My question was that would it be fair to say that since he's stated that this was his first time doing a speed analysis in a live investigation, and he haven't done it before, would it be fair to say that maybe he could have been off a little bit on his calculations, being that it was his first time?
Overall, he may answer.
I would say no to that. With this, again, we're following the premise of digital forensics. It's a scientific process. We learn a technique. We follow the process. We follow the standards. It's designed to be verifiable and repeatable by anybody else that would have that training and that software performant. The files can be turned over to another person with equal.
Yeah, meaning that there's not somebody doing calculations in their head trying to figure out what is what. It's numbers that you put into the system. You put the numbers in and then it gives you some numbers out. There's no human error. There's no human error. If he's saying no, there would be no mistake, that means that there's not like a human factor. Well, I guess it would, because you still would have to put in numbers though. And if you got to put in numbers, then there's room for human error. and that if you put the wrong digit, like you may measure it right, but push the wrong button by accident, which would then change your outcome. So, I mean, although I appreciate that he's sticking to his guns and being like, fuck you, no error. In reality, I mean, if a human has to be trained to work the machine, then there has to be also room for human error. I mean, I mean, that would be my thought. But I mean, give me an example of when that's not the case. Oh.
Training, and they should be able to walk step by step and still come to the same conclusion. So I would say I'm confident in the speed that was obtained.
So, if someone else can come to the same conclusions that you came to, is it fair to say that someone else a little more experienced could have been tapped to do the speed analysis instead of yourself?
We didn't have anybody more experienced in this area or our agency for this particular method.
Is it possible that a different agency could have been tapped to do the speed analysis?
This is outside of the witness's
Grounds.
personal knowledge.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Besides yourself, do you know of anybody that can do this analysis and come to the same conclusions as yourself?
I know of the company that provided the training. Other than that, I do not know anybody personally in this area or other investigators to use this specific technique.
Would it be fair to say that you weren't the only one being trained through video and the like?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Yeah, me neither.
You stated that you had to be trained in this form of doing the analysis. You stated the classes were, I think, from somewhere from May to August, you stated. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
What I'm asking is, were you the only person that was taking those classes?
There were people from other countries, other states, wide ranges of specialties, paralegals, accident reconstructionists, forensic investigators, things of that nature.
Anybody in Wisconsin that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Yeah, and what is wrong with him doing it? Like it's like they should have gave somebody else a chance. Is this like an affirmative action argument? I mean, what do we why'd they pick a white guy to do it? Oh, where were we going with this, Daryl? If we had just let you go, where were you gonna end up? If we had just
From any other departments that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of.
So it would be fair to say that you're not sure.
I don't know who has exactly what piece of software in each location, but I have not heard of anybody else in this area having the ability to do the speed analysis through video.
So it would be fair to say you're not sure.
oh my gosh.
As to, could you clarify one more time, please?
I was pretty
Oh my
direct.
God. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. What's so funny? Nothing pisses me off more than when Daryl says, "I think I was pretty fucking clear." Like when he says that he was pretty clear. When Daryl says that he is pretty clear, if a person says, "I don't understand the question," and then you come back with, "I think I was pretty clear," well, that's fine, and that's wonderful that that's how you feel. But if you would like for me to answer your stupid ass question, you might want to repeat that motherfucker because I just told you I don't know what you just said. I don't understand the question. So if you want to answer, you're going to have to repeat it. And nobody wants to hear you say that you feel like you were clear. Every time somebody asks a question to someone and then they get quiet waiting for the response, clearly they think their question was clear. That's why they pause to wait for an answer. But if it is not clear, because you are speaking to another person, okay, who does not have the same brain as you, right? Saying that is such a weird thing to say. I think I was pretty clear. Like, okay, I know that you do because you paused after you said it like you were waiting for my answer. That's why I came back with, I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase that shit? Okay. You know, if I didn't hear it, I would just say, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Could you come again? Right? So to tell them to repeat the question. If you didn't hear it, You ask, can you repeat the question? If you don't understand the question, you say, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. Can you rephrase that, please? He just comes back. I think I was pretty clear. Good for fucking you, Darrell. You know what? I would be like, you know what? You're right. And I would just be quiet. I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, your question was clear. You'd be like, you going to answer it? I'd be like, I can't. I just told you that. Well, I just told you I didn't understand the question. You chose not to repeat it or change it up or whatever. So I guess here we are. Okay, you just want me to answer any random question? Because you could have said that. You could have just asked me what color my favorite color is, because I don't know what you asked me. So how about I answer with purple? Oh, was that not what you wanted? Oh, well then rephrase the stupid ass question, then, sir. Okay. Oh my God, Darrell. As you can see, this is a thing that pisses me off. This is one of Darrell's things that pisses me off greatly.
Mr. Brooks asked
It's
a question.
far.
He doesn't understand your question. That's why he's asking.
Did you know of anyone else that was taking the same training to operate the same equipment and technology that you were?
Personally, no, if that's what you're asking.
So it would be fair to say that you're not sure.
I can say with confidence that nobody in the classes that I was enrolled in were from the state of Wisconsin. There were people from other countries, other states. That's really all I would know about that. I don't.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Typically during our classes, we go through an introduction, where we work, where we're from, where we work, who we work for.
So it's kind of like, because you did state that there were.
Look at Darrell's hand, y'all. What is it doing? It's like, let's try to mimic it. Okay, so the thumb is rounded up like so. I can't turn mine like that. Okay, so the thumb is pointed up. Then these ones are kind of pointing this way and then scooping. But then this part is kind of straight. Like, what is wrong with your hands, Darrell? What is this? Oh, I think I nailed it. I feel like that's it. Is that it? No, this one's gotta be more straight. And this one's and look at his sleeve. His sleeves go. You look. Darrell, that shirt is so big on him. It is running all the way up to his knuckles. Look at it. He's like, yes, and then here, and what he said was, would you say?
Kind of like video, so I'm assuming that would be online. Would that be fair to say?
It was live online training, yes.
So it would pretty much be like a classroom from an online setting.
Objection asked and answered, and I would, relevance.
Yeah, right?
It's been asked and answered. So sustain. Next question.
About how long did it take when you started to do the analysis? How long did it take from the point that you started into completion?
To put everything together, and granted, it wasn't worked on all at the same time because we had to do the camera overlay. We had to go get the readings from the variable frame light board and then start putting all that together. I would say hours-wise, I would say probably someplace between 20 and 24 hours to put it all together.
So about roughly a day.
Well, work days probably 3 days or so.
And would it be any reason why if you knew that you were being certified for that analysis, would it be any reason why you wouldn't start getting things in place beforehand and to be ready to go as soon as you needed to be ready to go?
I had the surveillance videos that we were using from Bosco Social Club in place. I asked Specialist Platt and Specialist Schmidt to assist with the 3D scanning prior to having the last certification in place, so that everything was there and ready to go once I had that certification.
Ha ha, Darrell. Ha ha. He had it all ready for soon as he got his certification. He could get right on it, honey. Right on it, honey. So now what, Darrell? Now what? Let's see what now what.
So it would be fair to say that you had help in getting everything ready.
Oh,
with the 3D scan.
ain't that something? Now it's a problem having help. Look, look, look. It's like you should have been moving pronto. I mean, why was you doing it all by yourself? This is a very important thing. Seemed like you guys would take this more seriously. It's like, oh, well, I had somebody have it ready for me so that once it was time, as soon as I got my certification, I was on it. Oh, so you needed help, did you? Darrell, what is wrong with you? Like, that's a real question. Like, what is wrong with you? Okay.
Were you at any time trained in the 3D scanning?
I am not currently trained in the operation of the Pharaoh. That's why I requested Specialist Platt and Specialist Schmidt to perform that scan.
Do you know if those two specialists, I missed the name, so I don't want to butcher them, so I'm just not going to say it, but it'd be fair to say it was two. Would that
Yes.
be fair? Were any of those two trained in the same speed analysis training as yourself?
No, they are trained in forensic crime scene mapping using the 3D scanner, not digital forensics or video analysis.
Would it be fair to say that even though they are not trained in the same area as yourself, that they were an essential key part to putting everything together?
What do you mean
The
by everything?
3D scanning software is an essential function to be able to perform this particular analysis, yes.
So it would have been, it's fair to say it would have been a task if you would have had to do it by yourself.
I wouldn't be able to perform the analysis without the 3D scanning.
Did that in any way cause any delay?
No.
Daryl's like, why was y'all just over there chilling? You know what I'm saying? When y'all needed to be coming in here and giving me these here 1,000 years. I feel like y'all was outside just sitting at the bar, just chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to capitalize off of my demise after I created some other people's demise. And I just don't think that's right. Okay? Okay? Okay. Yeah, drink your water, boo. You're going to need it. Because he going to dehydrate the shit out of you, this guy. You going to need to hydrate. I know they bored as
Do you
hell.
recall about what date you started the analysis?
Yeah. I was having deja vu there for a second. Last time he did a pause and then like he was about to start some more questions, he asked the same question. I think that's a stalling question. That's a stalling question because he did the same thing a while ago. He was like, he paused, like he didn't know what to say. And then he said, so around when did you start doing the investigation thing? He literally just did this.
Overruled, he may answer.
I believe
Oh my
the
God, the judge
3D
ain't paying
scanning took
attention.
place
She don't even
on
know.
the early morning hours of, I want to say, August 10th. When I had Specialist Platt and Schmidt perform the 3D scan, they went back downtown early in the morning to try and do it when there was little vehicles as possible on the roadways so that it wouldn't interfere with the actual diagram scan. I want to say the last certification was obtained somewhere right around August 16th, and then it was putting everything together afterwards.
I'm sorry, did you state the last certification was obtained around August 16th?
The last training class, yes.
So at the time that you started, you weren't yet certified?
I had not started anything as far as the speed analysis prior to that.
Why would you be starting the prep for the analysis if you were not yet certified?
Objection.
He
Grounds.
just said that he wasn't.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
You just stated that the preparations to do the analysis started around August 10th. Is that correct?
The preparations by Specialist Platt and Specialist Schmidt
you.
as to the crime scene mapping was done on August 10th.
So what he's saying is he was going to need the crime scene mapping information to do his analysis with the video whatevers. Okay. So by the time he finished his certification, if those other two guys hadn't done their part, he would have to wait for them to do their part. So they had already started so that they had their part, that part that he was going to need to do his analysis so that it was done. Ain't it funny how I don't know what the fuck they're talking about? But I can figure this out. Darrell is a dick. I think it's the moral of the story. That's the moral of the story, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
So when did you come into the fold to start doing your part of the analysis?
My part of the analysis originally began with just simply reviewing the video, learning what video would be best, what frames I would want to use, which I obtained my training from the National Computer Forensic Institute in video analysis in April of 2021, and went back through the same training through Input ACE and was already certified through them. So I was already certified for the video analysis portion of itself. The only thing I was waiting on was the materials necessary for the actual speed calculations.
And when did you receive those materials to do that part?
The certification was obtained on, I believe, right around August 16th. I can't remember if it was that day exactly, but
it is fair to say that you had already started work before the date of August 16th.
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
So when did you actually start to do the analysis? What date was that?
Same objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Do you know about the date that you completed your analysis?
I believe it was somewhere around August 23rd, 22nd, 23rd.
So it'd be fair to say roughly about a week or so?
Roughly, yes.
And do you recall when you actually turned in the analysis information?
I believe it was around August 23rd, right around there.
Do you recall who you turned the analysis information into?
I turned it into my supervisor, who then electronically forwarded it to the Waukesha County District Attorney's Office.
Any idea how long it took for it to be viewed?
No, I do not know.
Okay, Darrell, is that it?
At the point that you started your part of the analysis, did you still need the help of the other two people from your department?
No.
So once you started, it was just yourself?
Yes.
Darrell's a mess. You hear me?
You were confident that you were fully trained, you wouldn't have any hiccups working this technology for the first time?
Correct.
You were pretty sure that you would get everything on point?
Yes.
No further questions.
Any redirect.
Thank you. The video in question from Bosco's Social Club was recorded during the Christmas parade on November 21st of 2021. Is that correct?
Yes.
You went to Bosco's in August to obtain that video, correct? Or I should say you obtained that video and then in August conducted your speed analysis with it, right?
Yes, that's correct.
August of 2022.
That's fair. August 2022. I stand corrected. Correct?
Look at Darrell
Yes.
catching
Okay.
dates.
If you were to clean slate, take that video file, start your calculations here today, would you come to the same conclusion in terms of miles per hour over those 26 frames?
Yes.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled his answer and my stand.
Late. He already answered. You was late with your ground.
The software that we're talking about is called Input ACE.
Correct. It started off Input ACE in, I believe it was the earlier part of this year, Axon. They also make tasers, body cameras, things like that. They purchased the company now. It's
We like
called,
tasers.
the software is called Axon Investigate. At the start of this, it was called Input ACE.
You're certified to conduct speed analysis using that software?
Yes.
This case is not the first time that you use that software, is that correct?
Correct.
Overruled. You asked him questions about that, so he gets to redirect. You may answer.
Correct.
You use the software to conduct speed analysis on prior occasions, right?
Yes.
As part of your training.
Yes.
Your training involves using the Faro 3D scanning tool, correct? Well,
No, and
That was not
He
stated.
hasn't provided the
I'm sorry.
answer. So rephrase your question, please.
sure. During your training to use the Input ACE software, did you follow the same procedure in terms of using the Faro 3D scanning?
Objection. That's hearsay.
Overruled.
How is that hearsay?
Not hearsay. Go ahead.
It's not
the
hearsay.
procedures were the same. However, during
what
training
it was
examples,
objected
throughout the country, there's different 3D crime scene scanners out there. Trimble, Leica, Faro, Total. They use various different ones during the training examples of what what they had set up. The software worked similar, the methods were the same, regardless of which 3D scanner you used.
And as a result of that training and the multiple times that you used this software to conduct speed analysis, you obtained a certification, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
did.
Are you the first person to testify about speed analysis using the Input ACE software in any court in this country?
No.
Object.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
Ha ha, Daryl. Too slow, too slow. It's too slow. You didn't move as fast as you do when you say grounds. You gotta learn how to say it like that. You gotta learn how to say object the way that you say grounds. Like they barely get to say anything, and you be like grounds, grounds. You know, you need to do that. You saying object is too slow. You've missed 2 opportunities. Work harder. Maybe you can use it in your next trial that you got coming up. Bless your heart.
So when reference was made during cross-examination about this being new, air quotes, software or new technology, is that an accurate description of the technology?
No, it's
Objection.
not.
I was referring it to it being new to him, strictly to
Your
himself.
objections noted. His answer may stand. Next question, please.
Is this this technology, the software program Input ACE, used exclusively by law enforcement?
No, it's not.
Who else uses it?
Accident reconstructionists, insurance companies, defense attorneys, law enforcement. It's available to anybody that provides payment, goes through the training, things of that nature.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Thank you.
And that there is Daryl making a fool of himself. So proud of him. So proud. All right. Y'all know what to do. Y'all behave. Y'all behave. Because I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. Mama love you. Okay? Yes, she do. She do. Okay? Here you go. Put that in your pocket. You got it? All right.